Senator Richard Burr, chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, wrapping up nearly 3 hours of hearings with Facebook's Sheryl Sandberg and Twitter's Jack Dorsey. If the first part of the session was about fake accounts, this one largely about controlling the flow of misinformation. Sheryl Sandberg talked about posting related articles next to information that they flag as false. Jack Dorsey raising the possibility of one day labeling a bot, telling you as a user if in fact you're dealing with someone on Twitter that's not an actual human being. Shares have been under pressure for most of the day in what's been a weak tape for tech, maybe because of what Jack Dorsey said about what he called tectonic shifts coming to both Twitter and the industry at large. Take a listen.
I believe we need to question the fundamental incentives that are in our product today. Every time someone opens up our service, every time someone opens up our app, we are implicitly incentivizing them to do something or not to do something. And that extends all the way to our business. And those answers that we get from asking that question are going to create massive shifts in how Twitter operates, and I also believe how our industry operates. So what worked 12 years ago does not work today. It hasn't evolved fast enough.
What worked 12 years ago does not work today. Julia Boorstin, of course, been watching the hearing with us. Julia, I thought it was notable that really no targeting these executives, trying to get them to slip up or make a gaffe. This is pretty high-minded discussions about how algorithms work, their views on dealing with different governments all around the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought a lot of talk also commending their collaboration with each other and their work with law enforcement, and a lot of digs at Google for not being present and not participating in today's hearings. So I was really surprised by the number of senators who went out of their way to criticize Google for that. But it was interesting hearing the back and forth, especially one particular question from Senator Kamala Harris asking Sheryl Sandberg about whether they benefited from activity on the platform, even if the activity was fake news or whether it was manipulative activity. And here's what Sheryl Sandberg said in this somewhat heated exchange. Take a listen.
The more user engagement will result, and the more then that they are exposed to third-party ads, the more that will increase your revenue. So the more users that are on your platform.
Yes, but only I think when they see really authentic content, because I think in the short run and over the long run, it doesn't benefit us to have anything inauthentic on our platform.
Now, Senator Harris and Sandberg went back and forth on this topic a couple of times. The point being that Sheryl Sandberg was trying to make is that they do not want to have extra activity on that platform, on their platform, if that activity is manipulative or if it's fake news, trying to stress that just to have the extra interaction with different profiles is not going to be good for Facebook in the long run. So really emphasizing that Facebook's interests are aligned with that of the American government, something that Dorsey emphasized as well.
Yeah, interesting. Harris got Sandberg to say essentially that 3 to 4% of accounts on Facebook may be inauthentic. That was a key moment as well. John Fort.
But she said it's not. But it's not 3 to 4% of revenue. Right. She was very clear to say it was a much smaller percent.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, they definitely made the delineation with that. John Fort, we did not get the big, broad FTC regulation, antitrust discussion that maybe some were fearful of early this morning.
Yeah, I would say that the main characteristic of this hearing for me before the Senate Intelligence Committee was neither side was on their heels. The senators seemed very well prepared with substantive questions about technical issues, about social impact. The technology executives didn't appear to break a sweat at all in answering these questions. As Julia mentioned, there was the exchange between Kamala Harris and Sheryl Sandberg over making money off of fake accounts. There was also an exchange between Senator Tom Cotton and Jack Dorsey over to what extent Twitter owes additional allegiance to the American government versus other governments and how they enforce their policies. I thought Jack Dorsey had an interesting and strong moment there, saying that Twitter users should expect, no matter where they are in the world, that Twitter will enforce its policies fairly. Twitter has come under, as we've talked about often, some scrutiny lately for perhaps not stating what their policies are as clearly as they might. But Jack Dorsey seemed to have it together today.